Hello, welcome to Kentucky. The next vehicle we're gonna work on is my F150. Unfortunately, there is no oil pressure, so we're gonna troubleshoot and fix the problem. As you can see, every single light is lit up on the left side. So the only thing I'm really concerned about is the oil light. Oops, I pushed the horn. The only thing I'm really concerned about is the oil pressure light. If you're up on the lift, the only problem I have, I can't get out. Oh well, we're gonna have to climb out. I believe the main problem is the switch. So I'm planning to take apart the wiring harness, change the little pigtail, and change the sending unit, and hopefully that will fix the problem. Before we really start working on it, I'm gonna take off the oil filter, let the oil down, let it drip for overnight, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna change the fuel filter up here. And then I don't know what this one is. It looks like a vent line and it's in pretty bad shape, so we're gonna change that as well. This is my favorite plier to do this job, and you gotta start going really slow and then it's gonna start coming out. So here's the problem. That thing is not staying on because it's broken. So we're gonna cut it off and put a new one on. I got a 21 millimeter socket here, so just want to make sure that this actually fits in there and it's not gonna damage the nice new plastic piece. So now we can unscrew it and screw the new one in. This was a very nice plan. The problem is it doesn't fit, so I'm gonna have to use one of these regular wrenches and just keep turning it out. Oops. Probably need both hands and both eyes to do this. Now at the end we can just do it by hand. It's gonna come right out. I'm gonna have a little leak, not a problem. And now we're gonna clean off the area a little bit and then put the other one back in. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the covering off of this switch so I can get to the actual wire itself and cut it and then resolder it. This cover came off of it. I washed it, so now we can just cut this piece of wire and put the new pigtail on it. You can see the old and the new one. I'm gonna extend the cable just a little bit. I think that should do it, and then we can solder this back on. This is my favorite soldering gun. It's a Valor. I'm actually using butane gas. You can see it's already warming up. We're gonna treat the both cables, so both wires. You can see the end is already having the insulation removed, and then we're gonna treat both of them with the solder and then put them together. Solder together both ends. I think it looks great for me. I'm gonna put this back on that little shrink wrap, and then we're gonna shrink it, and then we can put the rest of the cover back on. This is how the end result look like. Now we can put on this protector and then cover it up with well, electrical tape. Now that it's all covered up, we can start installing the nice new part in that hole over there. Now that we finished it by hand, we can continue on with this wrench. Just gotta be very careful not to touch the plastic parts. It's a pipe thread, so it's not gonna go all the way into to be flush. So I did it until I felt that there's a resistance, so I think it's perfect right now. So now we can plug on the little pigtail and it should be a finished repair now. This is the wonderful click I wanted to hear, because now it's perfectly on. I found these original Motorcraft filters at O'Reilly's, and then I use that Mobil 1 oil. Before I put on any kind of oil filter, I like to wet them up a little bit, so when the engine starts, it will have an easier time pulling up the oil from the oil pan. I also wet the rubber part of the filter, so the next time I'm trying to change it, it will come off. Before I screw the oil filter up or on, I clean the surface where it's gonna go, and then we tighten it up all the way until I couldn't tighten more by hand, and then I just moved it a little bit back, and that's where it is. So next thing we're gonna do is let the oil down from the engine. I have just shy of 40 vehicles, like 40, and this is the only one I have which actually using a 16mm wrench. No other car of mine using that, so it's very simple. You just basically put the wrench on and unscrew the nut, and then the oil will eventually come out. You gotta get ready for it. I'm gonna just leave it behind and then let it drain out overnight, and then we'll continue tomorrow. But if you see, there is that little plug, and then the end of the plug there is a magnet there, and there is like a sealing surface. So if you have any kind of engine failure about to happen, you're gonna see some stain on it. The whole night to drip out, so we're just gonna clean the surface and put the drain plug back in, and then we can put the oil in from the top. Since then I went to O'Reilly's and bought some oil. The used oil go back into this larger oil pan or oil container, and I'm gonna take it back to O'Reilly's, and then you're not supposed to mix any kind of antifreeze with it because they're trying to recycle this. So once it's all filled up, I take it back there, and then they properly can dispose of it. Most of the modern vehicles will have the oil viscosity on their cap, so that's an easy cheat. Also, I want to talk about this design, the way they designed this bottle. So as you see, the part where the oil comes out is to the side. So they made it so actually you can lift it up, and when you lift it up, you can actually pour it out like this. So the air could replace the oil what came out of the can, and then it will not make the glut glut sound, so it will not gonna spill everywhere in your engine compartment. So now I filled it up. Now we're gonna have to start it, and then after it's started, well, first we gotta check, make sure there's oil pressure, and then after we started, we will have to check the oil level, which should be only in a level surface. You always check the oil level in the engine with the engine not running on a level surface, and in the transmission with the engine running on a level surface. The transmission is a whole different ballgame. The automatic transmission fluid expands, and also it has to be checked while the engine is idling. It was a very simple repair, what anybody can do at home if you wish. The only thing I would like to recommend, if you actually have to lift up your vehicle, make sure you use jack stands. You do not trust in your hydraulic jack, but use jack stands to make sure the car will not fall on you. So with this, thank you for watching, and see you guys next weekend with something else. I'm gonna keep going with this thing, and then I'm gonna change the fuel filter, and we're gonna change most likely the fuel pump as well in the same vehicle.